All right, it's a rainy Saturday morning. Trying to get some feeding done. Got through the hog barn already. Everything went pretty good down there. Got one mix taken down to the other farm so far, and the chain on the conveyor came apart. Looks like just the connecting link came apart, so I ran up to the shop to grab a connecting link, and we're gonna see if we can put that in there, get that back going. But fortunately, it happened right as the mix finished running out, so didn't really cause too much of a jam up. But got some other things to fix coming up. We got a hole in our mixer, and we had this is an older J-Lore mixer, and we had already put a liner in it on the walls of the mixer, but now the floor is wearing through. Isn't that crazy that silage can wear through steel? But over time it does. So beginning next week, we got to run this mixer up to the shop that's going to put a new floor in it, and we're going to get a loaner in the meantime. So trying to keep the feed from spilling all over the ground for now, but we only have to make it through the weekend, then we'll be back in action. Minerals. All right, next mix, headed to the other farm. At least we'll be able to find our way home, because we're leaving a little trail of breadcrumbs the whole way down there. So usually we let the mixer run while we run out the driveway. That mixes up the TMR, gives us some time to mix. But we shut it off on the road, so at least we're not dumping it the whole way down the road. But we definitely need to get that fixed. It's getting worse and worse. It's been growing for a little while, but we've been waiting on the shop to have some availability to fix it. And next week is our week, so we'll get her fixed up. So as you can see, it's been raining. It's been raining almost the entire week, and it's getting things a little bit sloppy up here. But the biggest problem that we realized with this rain is that we've created a little bit of a problem in our trench, in our bunker silo, because I don't know if you remember, but we filled this thing. We filled the front side second, because we had some feed in the back half, and we were still feeding that out. And so we filled the front half, and we're feeding out of the back half, which is backwards from how we normally do it. But the problem is that now we've created a basin for all the water to run into, and no way for it to get out, because the front of the trench is sealed off with silage. So we've been trying to manage that. We have a little sub pump that we put in, and we pump water out, and then we try to scoop up the rest. But there's nothing really we can do until we get the feed out of the way. So we're just gonna have to deal with it. So not only the rain that falls in this area, but all the rain that falls on this area of the bunker runs down and into here and over into here. Here's our temporary setup. We got a sub pump here that we lower over the edge. You can see there's no water in there right now, but that's because we already worked it all out this morning. So fortunately for that problem, it hasn't really been raining that much. So we haven't really had to deal with anything until this week, but now the rain's coming. So we'll see how it goes here in the fall. I don't know if there's anything really more we can do except to just try to keep pumping it out. So it's probably just gonna be the reality of how we're gonna have to work for a little while in there. So because both bunks are full now with corn silage, we don't have any space to stage our other ingredients, so we have to stage them along the wall here, which works out okay, except for when it rains. It's not so great, but again, we're dealing with that too, but yeah, it's working out all right. So we try to stage ingredients here, that way when we're making mixes it goes a little faster. So right now Earl's running that mix down, and the other guy, which is me, can be bringing in ingredients. So we got our barlage down there, barley silage, corn silage, earlage, ground corn, and barley screenings. So these groups of our smaller calves, we clean this feed up every day so they have fresh feed. And we try to size our rations to get cleaned up, but it's not always perfect. So if there's anything left, we'll scoop it up, feed it to the bigger guys, and then the young guys get fresh feed. Everybody's waiting for the next meal. All right, we got one more trough to feed, one more trough to clean out here, and then we'll be ready to feed the next mix. this is one of our only troughs that doesn't have a roof over it. So this trough especially needs to be cleaned out because if it rains a little bit, the feed gets soggy, and then we need to get it out of here before we put fresh stuff on top. The big guys are always happy to clean up the leftovers, right? So we just pile it on the wall here for them. They'll eat it up and get fresh stuff for the younger guys.
All right, all cleaned up down here. Earl's feeding that other mix at the other farm. Should be back soon, and then we'll get a mix made up for these guys. I must say, it is so nice having that cover on the commodity base, especially when it's raining like this. It used to be a real mess trying to deal with tarps on there, so glad we got that done. When we feed these Simmentals in here, we have to drive in through the bedded pack to feed them, so we need to get all these big guys out of here, and we always pen them out every morning so that we can get in here to feed. Hip, hip, hey guys, come on. Come on here, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip, hey guys, hip, hip. Where's Kate at? She likes to help with this job. Hip, hip, come on guys, hip. Hey guys, come on, hip, 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 come on, hip, come on, hip, hip. Hip, come on. Hip, hey, hey, hey. Come on, hip. Don't want to go out in the rain. Hip. 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 Hey guys, come on. Hip. Hip, 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 hey guys, come on, hip, 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 time to go, hip, hey guys, come on, hip, watch yourself. These guys know the routine. They're waiting in here. Hey, hey, come on. Come on here. Come on. Hip. Hip, hip. Come on, hip. Come on. Hey, come on. Hip, hip, hip. Come on, hip. So not only does it give us access to drive in there to feed, but it's also good we get them up in the morning and they go out and up to the bunk and start eating, because that's their job, is to put on some weights.
morning. It's calf feeding time. It's Saturday morning, so I'm just doing it by myself here. And it's really damp and rainy. It's been rainy this whole week.
Next up is our most tedious feeding spot, and that is in here in the barn where we moved those Simmentals out of the way before. It can just get a little bit tricky, especially when it's a little slippery, because there's a lot of poles in here and we just don't want to bump any poles. And that is speaking from experience. Not so bad on the way in, but you know, the sides of the bucket hang out a little bit, so it's kind of easy to catch the side of the bucket on something. And the bigger thing is backing into a pole. That's how we, all right, I got everything dumped off here, so see if we can. like I said, especially, it's not bad today, but especially when it's slippery out, it can be kind of tricky because you don't have the traction to really turn very good. They're all waiting, ready for breakfast. Watch out. Stand back. All right, fed all the piles. We got one more mix to make. Here comes Earl on his way back from the other farm. And then will be it. That'll be it for this morning. Next up, a little bit of breakfast. I got this homemade granola bar from Earl. I'm anxious to try it out. Check that thing out, man. That's heavy duty granola bar right there. All right, Earl's feeding out that last mix, and I just got a call from Heather. We're gonna go down here and help her out. The starter that comes in those tubs gets to be really, what's the word I'm looking for? Packed in there. It's really hard to scoop it out. Take those fences down. Get the bottom.
Yeah, I am. So Mitch, I asked if you could come down here and bring the forks to break this up, because sometimes this gets just really hard. And then it's just really hard to get it, scoop it out when it gets so hard like that. And then it just takes up so much time. So it's nice to have it all nice and loosened up like that. So now let's get back to feeding. All right, are we done? Another morning feeding done? Yeah. Say, I don't want that tongue to lick my face. We know it's been lots of nasty places. All right, so everybody's fed, everybody's satisfied. Till tonight.
All right, just got back from the other farm, fixing up that chain on the conveyor, so that should be all set for tomorrow. And there you have it. That's a little bit of our rainy Saturday. And now it's time to get back to working on the bus. We have a bus trip coming up next month. We have a trip planned in the bus, which means that we need to get that thing ready to go. And we got a little bit of a list to get done yet, so we better get at it. See you guys next time.